In The Flash this week, we took a trip in all senses of the word back into the Speed Force. We saw some long-lost friends, and then we had to say goodbye to a few more, and we're going to talk it out right now on Super Chat. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Super Chat. And you recognize these goofs. They've been on before, and they're awesome, and I'm so glad to have them back. We have Andy Smith, Jason Spooner, Jonathan Rosenbaum. Now, Andy Smith and Jason both work for the Ominous Press, and you guys do different things. Tell us about what's been going on with the Ominous Press. Lots more, it looks like.
Yeah, well, we have the first initial 4 books are out. So done for sale.
And where can we buy them?
Right now at the website. We will be announcing a partnership with a pretty good-sized publisher in the next coming weeks. And our first book out through them and us co-publishing will be in July.
Okay.
Of this year.
Of this year, yes, this July.
July 2017.
So, yeah, we're just cooking along with the stuff. It's going really well. And
Very
we'll
cool.
be at North Carolina, well, Oak City Comic-Con.
Okay, in Raleigh this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be set up there.
And then South Carolina next weekend.
Yeah, and then the weekend after that,
So you're
South
doing
Carolina
the
Comic-Con.
tour, the States tour.
That's right.
Very cool. So what did you bring to show us today?
Well, these are the first 3. Unfortunately, I don't even have a copy of the 4th one yet because it just came out.
So rare.
Everyone bought it.
Everyone has already bought it.
It's sold out.
Sold out everywhere.
It just came out, so I don't have it from the home office yet. Has not sent me one yet. But these are the first 3 of that 4-issue series.
And who's the main character? And it's Legendary is the series?
It's Legendary. Basically, because Ominous Press was originally established back in 1994, we did, this is the quick version, so we can get to the Flash stuff.
Yes.
We did 3 books back then, but they're always meant to be 4.
Well,
we never
there
got
you
the
go.
4th one out, so we decided to re-release the 3 with new material, so each one of them has new content.
Ooh.
And then the 4th issue is the one that is totally brand new, all new artwork and everything.
Very cool.
We put together to finish the story.
Our goal is just to cover this entire table
With just
these
Ominous
books that we
Press.
put
We're
out.
going to get shirts, pants.
This is actually going to be Ominous Press chat in a couple months.
Only. And imagination, because Jonathan does imagination. And you're always welcome. And you drew what is on your shirt, the Flash. It's like a retro flat. Oh, I love that.
I did a few old-timey characters, what I call it, based off of a kind of a Felix the Cat style.
It's so cool.
Yeah, so I did a bunch of them and thought I'd bring it and wear it for...
Yeah, so what's been going on with imagination? What have you been working on?
Well, yeah, I have been working on a few different things. I'm actually, I had a children's book I had done called The Zombie and the Vampire. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
And I'm working on another nocturnal fable called The Adorable Beastling.
Oh, cute.
And I'm trying to push
nocturnal fable.
Yeah, it's like The Ugly Duckling, but it's an adorable beastling where the beastlings are fierce and this one's not like the others.
And you should not fear the little beastling.
No,
That's cute. And you brought some art to show. I'm going to actually hold these up because these are really cool. Okay, so look at Supergirl.
Just try to be relevant with our topic. Of course,
so
this one's
relevant.
not as much with
These
the
are so cool.
Quicksilver.
Very
who would
neat.
win in that race? I mean,
Well, it's not a race. I try to not make it the obvious race. It's more like keep away. So that's why Quicksilver is not
Now,
a race.
if
to
people,
avoid that whole issue of
would be
people
the Flash.
talking about.
This
Of
is
course, it would be the Flash.
if people would like to purchase some of your work, where can they find you?
I'm doing a lot of cons, and I'm trying to get my website up to date with my prints. But I am going to also Oak City.
Ooh, that's a place to be.
Unfortunately, not going to SC Comic-Con. I'm going to Mad Monster Party.
Yeah, okay. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I have a lot of horror.
We've been doing Mad
stuff.
Monster for a lot of years now.
Yeah, I've seen CW there.
And there,
Yeah,
yes. Well, Oak City sounds like the place to be. So if you're in Raleigh, go. Or if you're not, take a road trip.
Actually, I think it's in Durham this
Oh,
year.
it's in Durham? What's
Not
the
that
Oak
I
City?
Oak
I don't
City
know
is in Raleigh.
which
and
city
they
is
have
the
a
city of
Old
Oaks?
City later on in the fall. That's
Okay.
Yeah, they're changing that up. I don't know
Clarification.
exactly. Well, I'll find my way there.
Probably go that.
Lots of conventions, lots of fun. So make sure you guys look for their work. And we had a big question of the week this week because there are a lot of blasts from the past in this Flash episode, and we had some huge Facebook response. I didn't know this was going to be such a big question, but I said, and I was talking about characters who had died or were like not on the show anymore because they had died in the show. Question of the week: who would you like to see come back? And it's in between Eddie. It's between Eddie, Ronnie Raymond, Henry Allen, Leonard Snart. Okay, the landslide winner on Facebook was Leonard Snart. I mean, I checked at 3 o'clock, and there was 275 votes. Wow. And it was, I mean, I was trying to do like this is not scientific. I was doing like little tick marks, and I filled about 3 lines. So a ton of people, oh, here, we'll show you the scientific, there you go. But also, a few people wrote in Patty Spivot, but she's not dead. But I get it. We miss Patty Spivot. What did you think? Who did you want to be back?
Oh, I go with Captain Cold there.
Captain Cold.
Snart all day.
Totally.
Snart, okay.
He's got the most personality.
He's got a personality.
He's got a good character arc to it.
A personality. I like the way you put
Well,
that.
who'd you pick?
I picked Raymond.
Raymond? I would
Although
tend
it'd be
to
kind of
agree.
weird. Yeah, it's kind of odd, you know, and
Yeah.
see what happens with all the other stuff. But,
Yeah, if he came back now and Julie.
And you know, we don't really know how he died. You know, I mean,
Right.
kind of just
He didn't definitely die.
that just kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
And, I mean, Professor Stein's still around, so
Yes,
I mean,
and
not necessarily.
There's another firestorm. So wherever he is, I guess he has like not half of himself, which
Yeah.
I guess would make him kind of volatile. I don't know, but he's in. We saw at the end of what was it? Last season? The end of last season,
Or
or
was
was
it
the
before
beginning?
that? Yeah,
of
it was
this?
something like that.
I can't keep it all straight now.
Yeah.
But he disappeared up until essentially the sky or something.
Well, actually, no,
Facts.
it would have to be before the Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes. True.
So that's been so. This is the second season. It's probably
Okay.
2 seasons.
So Ronnie's been gone for
Yeah,
some
it was a while.
time.
It was a while ago.
It's
It's been a while.
gone
So we've been missing him for a long time.
Written up.
I kind of tend to agree that I think I miss Ronnie and I would like to see him back. I do like Captain Cold, but I feel like he is just going to come back to Legends. So, but who I'd like to see on The Flash, who I think could have a longer impact on the team, would be Ronnie Raymond.
Especially now that his wife is so cold.
That's true.
Ooh, and that would
What
be
about
cool.
Malfoy?
Oh,
Draco's gotta
Malfoy,
get
yeah.
some love.
no. But I feel like he'd be okay elsewhere.
She is warming up
British
to
guy.
Malfoy.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of a romance going on there. But I feel like if Ronnie came back, moot point.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, my second choice would have been Eddie.
Eddie, yeah. See,
Because I
like it.
think they're with Barry and Iris and stuff. You have Eddie come back, a little more conflict in there.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe her feelings return.
Yeah.
And you know me, I've said it on this show, like every single episode of Super Chat. Everyone's nodding. Shut up, Vince. So, our camera guy's nodding. But I would like to see Eddie come back as Cobalt Blue. And I think there could be more with that character. So I would agree. But as is, just one of them as is, I guess I would pick Firestorm. But I would like to see Eddie come back as Cobalt Blue. On Facebook, a lot of people had a lot of different opinions. AJ said Ronnie because he essentially wants Julian gone from Caitlin. Most people said Leonard Snart, Hunter Zolomon, which we did see Hunter Zolomon for a second as the Black Flash in this episode. Again, we got Patty Spivot, Eddie Thawne definitely. More Firestorm, and a lot of people couldn't choose between. Well, someone said Savitt said Henry or Snart, and a lot of people couldn't choose between Ronnie or Snart. So, but Snart wins. Snart, you can come back.
There you go.
You're welcome back. On Instagram, it was again a lot of people liked Lenny, and our friend Mohawk Music. He said Snart's a must. He's going to be on next week when we have our musical crossover because he is Justin Timberlake's backup singer and dancer.
Nice.
So look him up. Look up Mohawk Music. He's pretty cool. He was just at the Oscars.
I was just saying, this
Dancing
guy's
on
jealous
stage.
now, going, why couldn't I be on that episode?
Oh, you could just come and watch and dance with it.
Sit right there.
He's pretty amazing. So we're excited about that coming up next week. This musical episode crossover is going to be, I think, a lot brighter of an episode than this one. This episode was glum. It was depressing.
Yeah.
And I did like kind of the eerie vibe, which, reminded us of the Kevin Smith directed episode the last time they went to the Speed Force. But there was a lot of instances where characters from the past were talking to Barry about how he had to really fight this demon on his own and fight his inner demons. Thoughts on this?
I think it's a theme.
The theme?
It's all seasons. He's got to train. He's got to get faster.
Yeah.
He's got to defeat the voice that says no. This is just a continuation of that.
Do you think it was wrong I think, which character was it that said that he essentially needs to do this on his own? I think it was Captain Cold saying he needs to do this on his own.
Right.
But does teamwork not make the dream work? Like Team Flash is.
And there's no reason for this. I mean, it's like, you know, what does that have to do with this arc in the beginning? You know,
it doesn't. It didn't
it's
fit
a Solvar,
in.
no,
Right.
No.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Especially
just confuses me. Anyhow.
It does.
Yeah.
Because
Who are you talking
you hear
to?
the Speed Force, and it's like, and boom, here I am in this exact duplicate of a world. I mean,
Right.
to me, the Speed Force should be more dreamy, almost, you
Not
know,
intangible.
imagery,
Yeah.
You
not
shouldn't see like
tangible and stuff.
Yes, I had a
you
friend who
know?
was watching it with me that said that in the comic, I was like, why is there walls?
Yeah,
And I was like, good
desks and- yeah,
point.
exactly.
There, I mean, but I think it's just supposed to be kind of a representation and kind of a purgatory type thing.
Yeah.
Although I do like the lightning flickering.
Should be more of that.
The Flash.
Well, and also as your point about why he should be doing this himself, we have like how many Speed people now just
Right.
in the vicinity. I mean, it's like, you know, helping him out. It's
Yeah,
like, you know,
and then if he doesn't let them help, he gets yelled at for not letting Wally help, or Jesse gets mad. So I thought it didn't fit in. I got the point of that they're trying to, you know, it's always like a test for Barry's own self-esteem. Like, you know, you got to believe in yourself and do it. But I don't think that his idea was wrong. He wasn't trying to place the burden on Wally. I think he was trying to, like, beat the future of.
Right.
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Wally's
yeah.
faster, right? So if Wally's faster
yeah.
and this guy can do it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, pass the ball. I think that shows maturity.
Yeah. I didn't think that they were. I didn't think that Barry was trying to pass it off on people.
No,
He's
yeah.
obviously troubled by it. Do you think that we're going to see Wally helping in any way, or do you think it's going to come down to a solo Barry project?
Well, I think one way Wally could have helped was not tell his sister and go, Barry, tell her why you asked her to marry you.
know.
Because I mean, we were talking about this. I know it wasn't this last night's episode, but dude, you're bringing this conflict up. Of course, she's now going to take the ring off, so now she doesn't have the ring. The best thing
Exactly.
you could have done, Wally, is just shut your mouth.
That was.
Hang out with
That
your new
was a
girlfriend.
tattletale-y little brother, I thought. And I get it, but I mean, that wasn't, he went about it completely wrong.
Yeah.
And now the West Allen breakup, how do you feel about them really essentially breaking up and moving out?
Yeah, what was that about?
Right?
It seems like, you know.
What is it about? Let's get there.
Yeah.
If you know, Cobalt Blue comes back in
Yeah.
the season finale and they're broken up,
That would be wild.
conflict.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you, okay, we anger a lot of people if we talk about the West Allen relationship. How do you feel about it this season? Does it feel natural the way it has progressed? Does it feel forced? Do you
Feels
think
forced. to me.
Forced?
It's always felt forced.
Yeah, I mean that's we talked about that. I think last time we were on the
Yeah.
show, is they rushed through things pretty quickly.
Right.
Feel.
Now they're rushing into the marriage.
I still feels a little weird that he's basically grew up together. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, it's
that's
like my
the-
sister.
That is
Hey,
the
it's
weird
my-
thing with
that's
me.
what I've
You
always
grew-
felt too.
Like if they were just best friends that didn't even live together, then
Yeah.
you could almost get past that. Like,
Yeah.
well, we were friends growing up, but I mean, they grew up in the same house. They lived together like really brother sisters.
I feel like
that
she's
is
my
just-
sister, and I can't wait to marry her.
Can't wait to marry my
Which is then, if you look back on it, that's kind of creepy of like growing up.
Right.
you
Yeah,
had
But that's how they
running
roll in
house.
Central City.
Yeah,
so that's
Central
different.
City. It's a little different there. I felt that I like that they broke up. I mean, that's going to make a lot of people mad. I don't like that they're sad and they broke up, and I'm not an anti-West Allen person. I like as a plot device, as a because,
Yeah.
you know, anytime Barry is happy with Iris, things seem to go amok. So maybe they just shouldn't be together for a bit, and maybe he should focus on.
But what was his motivation at that point to be like, you know, not only take a break, but I'm moving out, and we're gonna, you know,
Something.
I'm gonna hang out with Cisco, but he hasn't really said it.
Right, I thought that too. Did he
No,
ask?
no
I don't know.
distraction.
My couch, you know, is not available.
I know. That's a
He's got a train, man.
Yeah,
No
Right.
distractions.
no distraction.
That's right.
Yeah,
Like
and
Rocky.
what if Cisco wants to call Gypsy? I don't know.
never know.
I think that I don't know. I think that maybe something in the Speed Force, maybe seeing Eddie, maybe that made him want to break up.
Guilty.
But I liked that the show did that, though. I liked that it wasn't just the Speed Force made me realize that we should be together, because I think Iris was going there, and it actually was some really good acting, because you could see her face just drop, like slightly, but good acting, Candace Patton, when he was essentially breaking up. Like, it was disbelief. Like, she thought, like, hey, I'm saying this so we can move forward, and he was like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. So, I don't know. Do you think that them being apart will help him focus on saving her?
might give him some more clarity. I think obviously a lot of the decisions he's been making has been based on the whole saving her.
Yeah.
And he's been a little bit, it's like, let's think things through a little more. And so.
So Savitt, we learned that essentially he can't possibly be the god of speed because he's wearing a suit, a protective suit, which is a pretty cool suit. And also it's kind of a weird, like that's a lot of a suit if you're trying to be real like aerodynamic.
It's like old school knight.
It doesn't
looking.
make a lot of
It's so
sense.
chunky.
Yeah, unless it's like
Not
that
practical.
titanium or something that's super light or tungsten. But okay. Who do you think is in this Savitt suit? Grant Gustin has been quoted as saying, "You're not going to expect the twist at the end when they finally reveal it." Yeah.
Oh.
So
will it be an existing speedster?
right? Will it?
I think it'll be a character we know just from that because it can't be somebody new because we'd be like, well, why
Of course
is
we
that
didn't
shocking?
expect
And what
it.
if it's what's his name? Malfoy.
Draco. I mean, it could be. He's not ruled out, and also he's done a good job being evil in other popular things that he's been in.
My money is on the Wally West.
The Wally West.
But that's almost
betting
expected. That's the only difference.
I know, that's the thing. There's so many things pointing to that.
The only other thing I can think of would be HR because HR calls Wally Wallace, and so does Savitt. They both call him Wallace.
Oh, whoa! I
That is a good one.
I
I think that one I could pick. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a better surprise.
I hope that's it.
Yeah.
But then it's like that's the second time.
And
HR
wasn't
has
he
been the
also
bad guy.
in the future? Like they saw him with some sort of gun in the future.
Yes.
But that would be. How would that?
Because
be the
he
same
would
place?
know that he could be up there because he knows the future. Also, we don't know a lot about HR.
No.
And he's an enigma. Even the episodes where they've built up mystery and it seems to have been solved by the bounty hunter and explaining that. No, we don't know him. We don't know this guy. So that's a good point. Well, I like that. I did not pick up on that. Last week, a lot of people picked up on how Savitt was saying through Julian, "I'm the future, Flash," or is there a comma? We don't know.
Right.
So, do you think that it could possibly be a future Barry Allen? Because what Savitt says to Jesse Quick is, "I've lived this future."
Right.
So people seem to think he's one of the group, but we don't know. Could it be Barry Allen in the future, having mucked up the timeline?
That would be weird in a way because going to Legends of Tomorrow, when they hear that recording from Barry Allen in the future, it just seems like there would be too many pieces floating out there.
Okay.
Like, oh, this Barry Allen in the future recorded this for you guys, and this Barry Allen happens to be
But after
Savitt.
Flashpoint doesn't
later,
matter. I mean, really,
That's true.
True. And that was that. Yeah.
That whole future thing going in the past.
Well, he was stuck in the Speed Force. Savitt was.
Yes.
And Flashpoint was the thing that let him get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe, but then he.
But he
passed
was a
one.
creation of Barry Allen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What if Jay Garrick, who's stuck in the Speed Force, is
Turns
Savitt?
into him?
Or is?
That would be cool, but we did see. I wonder if that's too close to last year's plot.
Plus, I just can't see it being him.
Yeah.
I know.
I really can't. That's not a big surprise. Like, I think it could be Eddie.
I think it
Other
could be
than,
too.
why not? They just brought him back for this last night's episode, so it's
Yeah.
kind of gets him fresh in your mind again.
And it
So-
could be the whole cobalt blue thing that I keep talking into the ground, but it could be. I mean, that's a possibility. Also, he's bluish.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
shoehorn
don't
that
actually
in.
have a very good guess. I don't. I think that they've done a much better job this season of hiding it because last year I think a lot of people kind of guessed the whole Jay Garrick, Hunter Zolomon thing. So they've done a good job of keeping it a secret. Actually, they've done a good job of not even making sure that you knew it was a person in there. I think, I don't know if it's definitely a person in there or whatever, the Force, or it's something physical that needs to wear a suit. Could it be a girl? Could it be Jessie?
It's Iris.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be wild.
That would throw you out.
Oh, that would.
Because you broke up with me.
It was that moment I went into the future and I decided to destroy our future. I think that a girl villain would be cool.
I think it'd be great.
Are you sick of the speedster villain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm waiting for season 4. They can't do it in season 4.
They cannot do the same
They
thing.
can't.
Or if you say it enough times, maybe they'll hear it.
Pick it up.
But
No
yeah,
speedster
I mean,
villains.
yeah, you're right. Because how many of his villains were really?
All of them.
No, I
All
mean
the
currently.
Oh.
Currently in the comics and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So were they all speedster villains in the comics so far?
I mean,
No,
Not
I
villains,
mean,
I mean-
they almost, in the first couple seasons, they kind of ran through a lot of his Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
Captain Cold,
And then built up Grodd.
Weather Wizard, and all that
was just,
stuff.
you know,
So
Do you think that maybe they have used some of these, the characters like a Grodd or the Rogues, have they used them too trivially in the series, and should they have maybe played up them as more of a big force and a big bad instead of just always, because it's kind of like, where do you go beyond?
well, and that's a
the
good point
speedster?
because with the Grodd thing, that was just so tidy how they
Yeah.
wrapped that up
Yeah.
so quick. I mean, this whole
Yeah.
guerrilla army comes over.
I know.
And you would think a threat that large, they'd be like, we need to call in troops, Oliver and,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
big
everybody.
thing.
Right, that
that
would've
almost
been a great
seems more of a crossover.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the
You
second
know?
person who has said that should be that should have been a crossover
Yeah.
episode instead of maybe the musical one.
There's that, yeah, I'm
Jury's out on that musical
Yeah,
one until
yeah.
I see it.
I'm
'cause-
excited.
Well, so okay, you're excited.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was
She has
doing
written
some of the writing.
some of the songs. Yeah.
Okay, is that,
Oh,
but
really?
where does it happen? Does it happen in a weird world?
I
or
think it's in
something
a
like
weird world. So Music Meister comes in, who is Darren Criss, who was on Glee, and I think Grant Gustin, Melissa Benoist, and maybe one more were all Glee alumni.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so a lot of the actors are musicians and can sing also. So
Gleeified,
it makes sense. I think enough of the cast can do the job.
Oh, sure.
But you know, I think if they do it in a way that it makes sense, if it's like
Yeah.
just they're trying to throw, you know, like CBS and stuff,
Yeah,
we're
it's-
making a musical to make a musical.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But from the trailer, it does look pretty funny. So we could take a look at the trailer and see. It's a kind of like an old-timey, I don't know, an old-timey vibe, like they're trapped in a musical. So let's check it out.
Barry! What the hell is going on?
You're in a movie musical.
How do we get out of here?
Just follow
To a yellow brick road?
No, what's wrong with you? No, the script. Follow the script.
Gather the boys, we're going to war.
Reach the end of the plot, you get to go home.
Stick to the script.
Although I should mention, if you die in here, you die out there.
I miss being bulletproof.
It's a special musical episode of The Flash, all new Tuesday, 8/7 Central.
Maybe it's just what we needed after this week's release.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah,
It's a period piece, too.
it is. It is.
Does it happen chronologically in terms of it happens right after we?
Yes, it should, unless I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would
we
think
get
so.
there and they're like, no, it
Because
doesn't.
it is a Flash episode. It's not a.
It is. It's a crossover. So it's Supergirl on Monday night. It starts, and then on Tuesday night it continues.
So
as far as
Monday
I
night
know.
it happens because I thought that was a whole different episode. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't
this
think-
is
I
this
thought it
isn't.
started
I
This,
didn't think it crossed over into actually Supergirl. I thought she was just coming into his.
Oh, I heard at the start it was a 2-night thing, but I could be wrong.
it
Yeah.
could
Well,
be.
you should
It
just
could
watch
be
and
just.
find
Yeah,
out.
I was gonna say. Yeah, it could just be a hint of it because I
Yes.
thought there was some other something going on with the
Terry Hatcher
yeah.
and Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, you're right. There is something else.
that.
But
Yeah.
It might be
Like
the
they-
end again. Like,
But
Yeah.
it might be,
Yes.
like
yeah.
they set
Like
up
they
Invasion
crossed
the
over.
very
Yeah,
end.
the very
Yeah.
end was the intro. Yeah.
At the end, there's just like an ominous chord. Like, you know.
now, is Arrow doing it too? Because I'd love
No.
to see him
Oh my
sing.
God.
I'd
It
love
looks
to
like,
see
but
gruff,
it looks like
angry
Legends
singing
of
voice.
was it
It
Legends?
would. That's the
Legends.
thing. There were Legends people in
I
it.
saw
So
that, yeah.
it did cross over. What's his name? Merlin was in it, and also Firestorm. Martin Stein
Yeah.
was in it. So
Yeah.
it does cross over into the legend folk. But
Speaking of which, and I haven't been watching as much for Legends, but isn't Edward Thorne in?
Hubert
was
Thawne.
he was in
yeah.
last night.
He's
So
been.
he's been in it. So is that possible with all the future stuff that he could come back? I mean, in the
He
Flash?
could. I would be surprised if they brought that character back, especially in the. Like, do you mean as Savitt or just in general?
Either way, I mean, any of those. I mean,
Yeah.
because he's technically, if he's still there,
Yeah.
he's in
He's
the
still
past.
a
and-
Cling onto that
CW.
paycheck.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be as shocked as Savitar, though.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for people like Robbie Amell, who they're like, oh, so just one? I can be on one episode, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
That
Right.
poor guy, first he had Tomorrow People, then he's like, great, I've got this role on the show, and then they kill him off, so poor thing. And I think he was in something else for a little bit there, but, you know, I'd like to see him come back in some regard. They're fun to watch. But I also was happy to see Henry Allen, or John Wesley Shipp back for Jay Garrick. Do you think we're going to get him out of the Speed Force in this season?
I think that might be the end.
Maybe.
Or maybe that's a quest for the season 4.
He seems to be a martyr a lot. I mean, he seems to always be like, you know, I'll give it up for, you know,
Right.
in all the different characters he's played.
And
He's
in
been
that
like, you
scene,
know,
he
I'll die
he
for
just
you.
kind of like looks off as they walk away, left in Wally's bad scene.
Yeah, but that's not. But from what I get of that Speed Force is, it's supposed to be he should be reliving his worst thing
Right.
over and over. So
And how did he know that he had, they couldn't just leave with all of them? How would he have known that?
The way the prison was designed.
Right.
That's what they explain.
But it's like, yeah, but
It says it on his ticket.
I
when he
think how they
entered.
get rid of the big bad this time, right? They're going to kill him. They're never going to kill him. They never kill any of the bad guys, right? The bad guys killed themselves.
That's-
so
yes,
Salvador is going to go back into the Speed Force, back into jail, and then
and
boom,
he's going to come back.
Come out.
Unless, of course, he's
He is.
Jay Garrett.
Yeah.
Or the Speed Force takes over somebody evilly. I would like to see one character go bad. Maybe Killer Frost. We still haven't seen the end of that. I'd like to see what happens there. But there's a lot to look forward to
Or
on The
Wally,
Flash.
'cause he's
It
gonna
could be
turn into
Wally. The Wallace thing. That is the best
Wallace
theory
thing.
of the day.
HR.
That's really okay. So there's a lot. Well, you heard it here on Super Chat. If it ends up being HR with the Wallace thing, you heard it here
Our
first.
hat will be off to you.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes,
All hats
we'll invite
off.
you back on. We'll give you a crown, a speedster crown. Well, thank you guys for coming in and super chatting with me today. Make sure you check out the Ominous Press, Imagination, and maybe go to a convention. You'll see them there.
Yep.
And for tonight, you got to watch Arrow, because there's some more Arrow back, and they were gone last week, and I'm sad. And now we know who Prometheus is.
Which I'm glad about, finally, because every episode of that recently, I've been like, oh, come on.
I know.
Get to it.
I had a feeling it was Adrian Chase. Spoilers.
Tonight we'll find out, I guess, why he's Prometheus. So.
Who is he really? He's really just Savitar. Adrian Chase is Savitar.
Why not?
And he's
Crossover.
also Terry Hatcher. She's going to reveal that it's Adrian.
Keep taking masks off.
Yes. It's me again. All right. That about wraps up Super Chat for this week, and we will see you next week, same time, same place, for the musical episode. Bye, everybody.